If you follow my videos, you know I post a lot on how to repair them, and in particular Briggs Stratton engines. And when I run into something interesting, I always enjoy posting that, and that's what I have today. This is a Briggs Stratton quantum engine with the push to prime starting system carburetor. And from a distance, it looks like everything's normal, but if you go in close, you can see that someone, the prior owner, has made all the mistakes you can make on this primer system. They couldn't get it to prime, and instead of doing the common solutions, which is learning about and understanding by going on the internet that these airbox bases where the air filter goes, these things warp. And so the first time you go to take it off because your carburetor is clogged up and it's not starting, it's not running, and you think, okay, I'm going to clean this carburetor, and you go into it and you get it cleaned and you put it all back together and it won't prime, and you don't know about the primer plate warping. You don't know about that because you're just an average homeowner. So but you got some mechanical ability, and so you think, well, I'll just tighten it up. It must not be sealing well. When I push the primer, it must not be sealing, and it's not priming, and so I'll just tighten it down. And so you get your screws, which are right here, and you start torquing it down, and you don't know that there is a limit to what you can do here. There's a specification for tightness, but basically it's hand tight because you're going into plastic here. Now you are going into metal on the carburetor, but once you start torquing down on this, you start digging into the plastic. And he's dug this out so far that I almost couldn't get the socket on the head of the screw to get it out. So it's dug into the plastic here, it's dug into the plastic there. And that didn't work. So he came back and thought, well, that torquing doesn't work. I'm going to go to the auto parts store and I'm going to get me some gunky, gooey gasket making material, and I'm going to get this thing to seal up. And that's what all this stuff is. You can see some of it there, but most of it is here on the side of the carburetor, and it's this rubbery substance, which is a big mistake. So the question is, can I pull this off and get it to prime or not? And when I bought the mower from this guy, he said he couldn't get it to prime and it didn't work and all that. So I'm pulling it off and hoping maybe I can work with this carburetor that's on here. So I'm peeling away this funky gasket material and revealing the tiny little port there that has to be open for it to work, for it to prime. Okay, and then also, of course, the big question is how to get it to seal. And I've done a couple of videos on this, and I've repaired literally hundreds and hundreds of these. And so I have developed a method that never fails. And I'm not talking about putting a bunch of gaskets on here, like stacking them up. The method I use, you'll use one gasket, or maybe two, maybe two. But he's done a good job of cleaning this off. It looks like there's that gasket material's in here in this screw hole. Let me see. No, it's okay, and that one's okay. So the question is, can I get this to work now that he's kind of messed it up here? And I think it will work. I've got to clean the gunk off of that. And the other mistake he made, he replaced the primer bulb, but he put the wrong primer bulb in here. This is a primer bulb that goes to a pulsajet engine. And if you're not familiar with these, you'd say, well, what's the difference? Well, there's two kinds of primers on these Briggs Stratton engines. There's the kind that's on a pulsajet engine that is solid and has no little dimple in the end to let air pass through, and that's what's on here. He's put a pulsajet primer bulb on a quantum priming system. So there needs to be a little dimple right there in the center to let air go in after you release the bulb and you come back out, then air goes in through the dimple. This primer pulsajet system is what's called a wet primer, and it's designed to pull fuel up from out of the tank and up out of the tank into the carburetor that sits above the tank, and that fuel is sitting under this bulb. This system is not designed that way. This system uses a dry bulb, and it has a hole in it. So obviously it couldn't hold fuel. There's a hole in it. It's a little dimple there. And the reason that's there is when you put your thumb here and press against it, you're covering the hole and you're pushing air in to the carburetor through that little opening right there. And that air goes in and goes down into the carburetor and then pushes fuel up into the chamber, the carburetor chamber. It does not push fuel. A lot of people don't understand that. So there's no fuel going here, it's just air. So if you've done it right, this just pushes air. And he's got the wrong primer bulb on there because it's solid. And so when you push it, instead of pulling in air easily, it's going to draw back air along the primer thing and then up out through this hole. And you don't want that. You don't want to be sucking fuel into this thing. You want to keep it dry. It's a dry primer system. So what I'm going to do here, and we're going to see if I can use this carb because it's not leaking. This thing is full of fuel. I don't know how old it is, but we're going to try it, you know. Hate to waste fuel if it's good. And he seemed to think that it would run if we could get it to prime. So I'm going to try and get it to prime after digging off all the weird rubber gasket material. And I'm going to use the system I use to make sure that this warped plate is going to work. And if it doesn't, if it's too warped or too damaged because he's over-torqued that, he gave me this one, probably out of frustration. Let's see, that's a really dirty one there. I've set it somewhere. I guess it's this one right here that he gave me. And so it doesn't have a primer bulb in it. This is broken off, a little tab here. People break those off all the time because they want to bend it off. They want to look in that carburetor. And so it's missing this little tab right here. That's broken off. It's not the end of the world, you know, it'll work fine without that. But this one's got it. So I'm gonna try to use this one first. So I'm gonna pull this primer bulb and put the correct one in there. And then I'm going to do what I always do with these, which is I get some duct tape like you use on your, hold on a second, let me get it down so you can see it. It's what you use on your HVAC system, your air conditioning ducts, the big heavy ones, and if you get they're sort of covered in a foil-like material. If you get a tear in it, then you can patch it with this tape. So this is a metallic tape with a weak adhesive on the back. And it looks like this. This is paper, and what I'm going to do is cut a 1/4-inch strip. I'm just going to take some scissors and go whoop, and lay that down. Then I'm going to do another one. Whoop. So I've got 2 1/4-inch diameter strips. This is about 2 inches wide. And so I've got 2 of them laying there, and then I'm going to cut each one of those in half. So I've got 4 pieces of metallic duct tape. And then I lay the metallic duct tape right here. It goes from there, and since I've cut it in half, it's going to stop about right there. Okay, so there's that piece. And then I cut it in 2 because I have to turn a corner. So then I come up here with it. And I usually trim a little off so it, makes this curve here. But the last thing you want to do is block this last little part. That has to be open right there, because that's going to go into that hole on the carburetor. It has to be clear. So I'm going to go here with a strip, and then another piece of strip here, making sure I keep this end open, the end of that curve. And then I'm going to do another one and another one. So I've got 4 pieces of the metallic tape on there. And then, and I'm very important, making sure not to press down on the tape into this groove. You want it to sit on top of this groove, because air has to travel along that channel. When you push the bulb, you got to have air traveling along that channel. All you're doing is making sure that it seals along this raised rim of this channel. And the gaskets, Briggs Stratton gaskets, normally would seal that, except this whole thing is warped. So the duct tape accounts for that, and is flexible and has slight adhesion on the back, and there's enough of it there to seal this, especially when you put your gasket on there. And then you put normal pressure on the screws that go here and here, not highly torqued, just hand tight. That's what you need. So when you come back, now I've shown how to do that in other videos, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. Just cut 2 1/4-inch strips, then cut each one of those in half. And you're going to lay them on there and kind of stack them up a little bit. So I will show you, after I've done that, what that looks like. And I'll clean the rest of that gunk off there. So stay tuned, and I'm going to try to get this mower going with the original carburetor. That's an original Briggs Stratton carburetor, probably 15, 20 years old. But it's not leaking. So let's give it a chance. If it doesn't work, then I'll replace the carburetor, but I'm going to give it a chance. So stay tuned. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button so I can keep putting out these helpful, useful videos on getting your old mowers running.